Anastasia is a young mother from Kherson. Her son was born 2 months ago during the occupation of the city by Russian troops.
Of course, all this was both scary and dangerous. It was terrible that I didn't know how it would all be in terms of clothes, medicines and electricity, but thank God, everything ended well.
Volunteers provide diapers, mixtures and everything else necessary. The young woman does not receive any social payments. After all, Anastasia does not have a Ukrainian document on the birth of a child.
We categorically refused to receive a foreign birth certificate. We were waiting for liberation, waiting for our armed forces. We are waiting for when there will be peacetime for us. We are waiting for everything to start working under our flag.
Tatiana was more fortunate. She gave birth in March, when Ukrainian servicemen continued to work in the already captured city. She says the doctors had to introduce an emergency birth in order to take it between shelling. The woman managed to draw up Ukrainian documents.
After giving birth, I ran every day to the registry office to issue a Ukrainian certificate to my child. Did they force to receive the Russian one? They didn't force but obliged. It turns out that in order to survive and get at least something, food and diapers, it was necessary to draw up a Russian one, but we withstood thanks to our stores.
Tatiana has 2 older children, therefore the registration of social benefits went much faster.
I managed to go to the social office and get a certificate on the same day. Most likely, they left with my documents for the territory of Ukraine and made them there. I received money in June, but my neighbor, who gave birth later, could not issue anything. She had to get a Russian certificate. I don't know how she is now. It is very difficult for her, even more difficult. She has 1 child with a Russian certificate.
Russian invaders during the capture of Kherson promised to provide automatic citizenship of Russia to all those born after February 24th, but most young mothers managed to avoid this. Now they have only extracts from hospitals in their hands.
I was given certificate with Russian stamps at the maternity hospital. I don't even know if I can get something. We live here on humanitarian aid. Relatives from Ukraine help us. They send us money. That is how we live.
There are several ways to issue a Ukrainian birth certificate for children born in the temporarily occupied territories. The first is to apply to a working registry office in any city of Ukraine.
If there is a medical document of birth that was issued in the territory that was under the control of the Russian army, then you must first apply with it after leaving to the civil registration authority in any and find out if such a record was made. Because in the occupied territory, despite the fact that the registers did not work, part of the act records were still made.
The second way is to go to court. This procedure has been greatly simplified. At the beginning of the Russian aggression in 2014, it was necessary to provide a maximum of documents, including photos during pregnancy and immediately after childbirth. Now a certificate from doctors confirming the birth of a child is enough.
They look at the medical records of the birth, let them be issued in the occupied territory, but these are medical documents and/or so-called birth certificate documents issued in the occupied territory, and then the court makes a decision. It establishes the fact that the child was born in the occupied territory and all the necessary data on the origin of the child and so on, which are necessary for registering him in the registry office.
Another way is to use the e-Malatko electronic service or send an application in any form, according to a special procedure.
Parents or other legal representatives can submit a scanned application for state registration of the birth of a child and attach scanned copies of the documents required for such registration to a separately defined email address, that is, passport, marriage certificate, medical birth document, taxpayer card registration number.
Documents are reviewed, registered, and the scanned birth certificate is sent to email in response. It will be possible to replace an electronic certificate with a physical certificate as soon as the registry offices resume work in the region.
This procedure is available to those parents who do not yet have the opportunity to travel to the territory controlled by Ukraine, or they stay in an administrative territorial unit, while the state registration authorities do not carry out their activities in accordance with the order of the Minister of Justice.
Thus, according to the special procedure, the Ukrainian certificate was received by the parents of more than 40 newborns in the Kherson region. 4 of them already have a document in their hands. Reported by Roman Smoler, Daria Litovchenko, UATV News.